guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys know, I do tool reviews, but I do mostly budget tool reviews only because, you know, I like to build stuff, and you know, I don't really want to spend way too much money on tools that I'm not going to use on a daily basis. So and I like to, you know, make these videos, show you guys how these tools are used, and you know, it'll be my first experience as well as I'm filming this. So I don't make any other tries. I don't re-record. Everything that I record is basically the first time I'm using the tool, and it's the first time I'm trying out the tool. So I like to take you guys on this journey with me. So I'm not sponsored. I pay for all this stuff on my own. So excuse the video footages, excuse the blurriness, the excessive noise and all that stuff. You know, I try to work around my kids. I try to work around, you know, the sound that's happening around everything that's around me. So I'm gonna do one review right now, and it's gonna be the Wen track saw, the model CT1272. This is a budget track saw, and I think this one is I think it was a 7.5 inch blade, and the tracks are sold separately. So, but between the two, they're about $200, $220. But I'm gonna have to use it because I'm building something for my kids. So it's a perfect time for me to open it up and show you guys how this thing works and what comes in the package. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm gonna open this box, and I have my biggest fan here.
Hi.
And he's gonna help me open up this box and see what's inside. So, because this is for their project. Here, can you go put that in trash? It's on that side. Alright, so this is the Wen CT1272 track saw. Let's see what comes in the box. First and foremost, the manual and a couple of brushes, and you just get into the saw, and a dust port attachment. And pretty much that's it. That's all in the box. So, I've never used this saw before. I've never had anything similar to this saw. I've never owned a track saw. So this is the first time I'm actually going to be using a track saw. And what I need to know is how this thing works, how is it going to fit into the track, and all the bells and whistles that this thing comes with. So apparently this thing comes with a lot of options. But you know, we don't know until we try it, right? So let's see what options this thing comes with, from the bottom, from the top to the side, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna adjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm gonna be seeing. Alright, so this is the bottom of the saw. This is where basically it's gonna fit into the track right here. And you have this piece. I don't know what this piece does. It's just lock it in. I think so in order for this to fit into the track, you need to twist this. It'll basically open it up. It fits into the track, and you let it go, it locks it in, so this way it doesn't pop back out. And I think this is the anti-kickback feature as well. I think that's it. There's also another locking option here. You have to pull it out and lock it in. Okay, so there's another groove right here that actually locks it into the track. Very interesting. That's kind of cool. But you have to pull it. You have to pull it out and in. So you see, let me show you guys. You pull it out. You twist. This piece comes out. can see it comes out, and you pull out, twist, and disappears. So I'm going to show you guys on the track how it works. There's another knob here. I don't know what this does. Kind of twists in. There's like a little, oh, I guess, oh, I know what this is. So this basically, if the saw, there's like a little black colored bevel here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So if your saw is kind of loose, you play with it, you adjust it so it doesn't wobble in the track, so you could actually get some straight cuts out of it. And I just realized there's another one on the bottom right here. So there's another one on the bottom right there. That's kind of a cool feature. Now let's look at, I'm gonna put a piece of wood under this. So this is right now, it's locked. It doesn't drop down, right? So it's, if you see right here, this knob, this is what controls the drop of the blade. If you move it forward, am I missing something? Still not dropping. Why? Huh.
Well, maybe we should take a look at it. Oh, I see a button right here.
That's not a button, that's a screw.
Oh.
So as you guys can see, there's three options here, right? So the first option is you drop it down, and this will only go about 3/4 of the way down. If you can see right there, 3/4 of the way down. Second option is, and by the way, you have to push this orange button right here for it to release the lock, because right now it's locked and it doesn't drop down. And then when you move it to the middle option, this is full collapse, right? So this will let you drop the blade all the way down. So this is the blade all the way down, right? And when you let go of the orange, this thing will just pop back up. Now there's a third option. The third option is a locking mechanism. What you do is you put this all the way down, all the way up, I should say. You push the blade down, and what it does, it only goes down to a quarter of the way, but look, my finger's off the lock, and it locks it in place. This way you don't have to keep this pressed, and you just, your fingers on the trigger, and you know, you're just monitoring, you're just pushing the on position, and you could just keep going until you're done. Then you have to push the orange for it to come back up. It does not go all the way down. It only goes the a quarter of the way, not 3/4 of the way, a quarter of the way. So, cool option. You have the tool to change the blade. Now the way you change the blade is you have to put it on halfway, I believe. You go all the way down, and there is another orange lock key right there where it locks the blade, like you see right there. There's an orange key right there, and that's how you get to change the blade. So you hold that in place, you open it, put the new blade in, and you close it. There you go. Now, what other features does it have? Well, this thing also bevels to 45 degrees. So it has a front knob and a rear knob, and they kind of twist this way against each other. You bevel it to 45 degrees, you tighten it in place, you tighten it in place. Okay, so this is your 45 degrees. I don't know how sturdy this is going to be on the track saw, but we're going to put it on the track and see how sturdy it is. But what other thing there is here, there's measurements here for it's a depth stop. So this goes to 2.5 inches, right? So you could do a depth stop at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 to 2.5 inches. So you could cut anything up to 2.5 inches thick. Basically a 2x4. Anything that's thick of a 2x4 you can cut with this thing. Anything thicker you're gonna have some issues. So this will have a 2.5 inch cut range, and you know, depending on the type of wood that you have and all that stuff, so you're gonna have to play with that and see what kind, how deep the wood is and all that stuff. You put it back in, and when you bring it back in, it sits at 90 degrees, or 0, I should say. All right, what else does this thing have? It does have a little marker up front right there that says 0 degrees. The problem is everything's like in black on the base, so it's really hard to show on the camera. So I'm just putting it. So this is where the cut is gonna be. So if the right side is the cut you want the line to be on the left side, basically. So you're not cutting shorter pieces, and vice versa. But next thing is, be careful, don't play with this, it's sharp. Alright, so let's put one track on the table. Let's see how it sits. Let's go play with the options. Alright guys, so this is the track. Okay? Again, I've never owned one, so I don't know what I'm supposed to look at or how this is supposed to function. But I know this has some sort of felt at the bottom of it. It's like an anti-slip felt, but you know, it's not gonna work on the smooth surface right here. It's only gonna be on like a rough piece of wood, so it doesn't really slide and slip. But these also come with the option of having some sort of clamp to be used on the track saw. Clamps are sold separately. They're about $20. And again, since I'm a DIY guy and I like to make my own stuff, and when I bought some clamps from Harbor Freight, these were like $2 each, and I 3D printed the piece for it, and the piece fits in the groove on the bottom, which I will demonstrate later on when we get to it. So for now, let's put the saw on the track. Let's see how it sits. Yep, let's see if it works. Alright, so it's supposed to sit like this. Alright, but remember guys, I told you there's like a little locking mechanism that's not gonna let it sit. This is not, right now this is not sitting flush. So if you can see, this is not sitting flush. So you have to lift this up, bring it to 0, and it should be sitting flush. It's not sitting flush. Why isn't it sitting flush? Oh, I had the wrong one. It's this one. There we go. Now it's sitting flush. Alright, and you gotta make sure these two are loose as well. So this one, it's when you turn it, if I can turn it, this is supposed to go into the groove right here. Let's see if I could. There's a groove right there. So this is supposed to sit so this is sitting flush, and it doesn't let you go back. It's interesting. You know, guys, not everything goes as planned. This is why I do this, because, you know, the other videos that you guys watch on, you know, people's shows and whatever, they do 1,000 takes. They want to make sure everything is perfect for the video, this and that. Not with me. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I'm gonna figure it out, so you guys can figure it out with me. So now, you see, this thing has a small play. So in order to eliminate that play, there's like this little black bevel right there. You do that, you tighten it up. There's one in the back. Same thing, you tighten it up, because you want to make sure the cuts you're making, they're straight, right? So now this is in place. This still has a little play.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
If, let's say, how do you cut wood if it's on the track? Like,
I'll show you when we get to it. When we get to that point, I'm gonna show you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this right now we're trying to see the options. All right. So now this is sitting flush with the track. So I don't know why this thing is not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's locked in place. Now this thing does not come out of the track, right? Now it doesn't have a play. Everything's good. Watch out, Sammy. So now this should actually slide smoothly on top of the track. So I'm just gonna give it like a little push.
Definitely
And you know, it requires a little effort, but it's not as bad. And the thing is, I can't go back. The anti-kickback system working great on this thing. So when you have the and the way to disengage it, you know, you move the knob to the left a little bit, and you can just pull it back. But as soon as you let it go, it stops it in its place, which is great. So this is the way it goes, which is awesome. So you're moving forward, it's pretty good. Moving back, it doesn't move back. You disengage the anti-kickback and you pull it. So this is actually great. I mean, this is given, it's because it's not saying anything, but everything is locked in on this side, so nothing's gonna pull out of its place. So you should get the straight cut that you want. Now, one more thing you guys need to consider or think about is this: the plastic piece right here, right? This is where your zero is. This is where basically you're gonna zero it on the line. This plastic piece is your guide. This is where the blade's gonna go down. But I've seen some videos where this plastic piece is sticking out a little bit further than zeroed. So your first cut, you know, as you push this down, is gonna go over the plastic and it's gonna rip it. So be careful when you make your first cut. That's what I'm saying. This plastic piece, it's a little bit longer than what it's supposed to be, so your first cut is going to be a little bit more, it's going to cut this plastic piece out, so then it'll be fully zeroed in. So without further ado, the next thing I'm going to show you is the clamp, how this thing clamps down to a piece of wood and what it looks like with those 3D printed pieces. Stop making faces.
Okay.
Alright guys, before I move into the cutting portion, I was going to show you guys how these two tracks connect to one another. So there is like a little connectors here. There's two of them actually. So, you know, these are very simply put. You know, you loosen up the screws on this with the included Allen change that comes with the tracks itself. And what you do is you move this in place, and what you want is you want 2 screws on one side and 2 screws on the other side, and you dial it in, you tighten up the screws. And you gotta make sure this is leveled, right? So you gotta make sure everything, the track lines up. You gotta make sure everything's lining up on the track right here, or else you're gonna have some issues. So you tighten it up.
Are we going to start from over here and go there?
No.
Oh, from there to here?
Yeah. Alright, so this is tightened up. I want to see if there's anything on the bottom.
I'm going to be right back.
Okay. I wonder if the other one's on for the bottom, but I don't think they'll fit. Yeah, these are too thin. So you only do it on top, right here. And it seems to be flush. You know, you need to do a little bit of adjustment, but it seems to be flush. You know, but the test comes when you put this on there. Now you see this is not sitting flush right here in the back. The back part is not sitting. Wonder why. Let's see. Here we go. The anti-kickback was off. So seems to be working. Seems to be working fine. So that's that. So now let's go mount it on a board. I'm going to show you guys how the clip works. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I replaced, how I turned this into this. It's actually very simple and very easy to do. You just move this down. These usually come with like a little screw right there. You just open up the screw. Don't lose the nut on the back. This kind of slides out, and you slide this in. Might be a little bit hard to slide in, but there you go. Slides in. Put the nut in place. And I will share the file in the description, so if you guys have a 3D printer, you can actually 3D print the part. You tighten the screw. And pretty much that's it. And you want to make sure this part is not up here, because this part kind of slides into place. So let's slide it in. Let's see how it works. So this slides in right here like so. You're gonna go all the way. You're gonna, and that thing broke. Interesting. So this thing slides in like so. You go all the way in, and that's it. You don't need to put too much pressure on this thing. It already holds it in place. You do the other side as well, and you're in business. Alright guys, so as you saw, my plan A failed. The 3D printed parts broke off. So I am going to plan B. What's plan B? So as you can see, these came with the piece right there. They sit like this, right? So all I'm gonna do is basically flip this over like so, and see if this is gonna fit. There we go, like so. I'm gonna fit the pieces back in, and I had to trim the top right here. Let me see if you guys can see this. There we go. So I had to trim this top right here. I don't know why I'm not getting. Hold on. There we go. So I had to trim this top right here for it to fit in the track. So I'm gonna test it out, see if it actually works. Alright guys, so few cuts I had to make. So first I had to trim this part down, and then I had to cut grooves into here and here, and this is the result. Alright guys, let's put this to the test again. Hopefully this works. Hopefully this is gonna work. If not, then I'm gonna have to buy the $20 clamps, because I will have no other choice. Alright, this seems to be sitting solid. Let's try this again. Well, so much for dust control and vacuum. Man, it's such a mess. This didn't work. But hey, maybe I had the blade down a little too much, but it is what it is. And I set the camera up here for you guys so you guys can see that dust stuff my shirt. The cut is straight. I don't know why it's so dark. I mean, maybe the camera's sensor is screwed up here. Let me put. Here we go. There you guys are. Sorry about the camera movement, guys. Again, I swear I will find a permanent solution for this thing and get the dust off the lens. Here we go. All right. So. My conclusion of this saw. I mean, cut it straight. It makes a lot of dust. It doesn't really, the vacuum really didn't suck up the dust as much as I thought it was gonna do. I'll probably figure something out for that. The track works. The issue I had with the clamps I fixed. So I went through 4 3D printed pieces and they all broke. Maybe if I do 100% infill, maybe that will change it. But hey, those $2 clamps work just fine if you just flip the top and it'll hold the track in place. It didn't move. I did not feel it slide at all. So it was in there pretty good. It held together. I didn't see it swerve or anything, so that was good. I'll leave it up to you guys how you guys want to do it. My honest opinion, my fix is a temporary fix. I don't take it as a very not for everyday use, I would say. They will eventually break off. So I would just say just invest in that $20 track saw clamp and just get it over with. You know, I'm just playing it cheap, to be honest with you. But other than that, I like the saw. It doesn't kick in right away at high speed. It kind of, you know, takes its time to spool up to its full speed. One thing I forgot to mention, this is a variable speed saw. So this is max speed is 6. You know, minimum speed is 1. So it is a multi speed saw. I did not know that until like I started cutting. Then I saw the level in the back. Overall, for $200, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth the money. Again, this is not made. This saw is not made for contractors who do this every day. You know, there's Festool that makes a good track saw, which, you know, costs about $800. There's also Craig that also make a track saw. I think this is about $400 or $500 or something around that price range. But where Festool gets you, it's on the tracks. Where Craig gets you is on the tracks. You know, the tracks are sold separately, so there's no actual kit that you could buy, you know, as a combo. So you have to buy everything separately. But this, for $200, again, I had to buy the track separately as well. So, you know, the saw was $130, and the tracks were $70. And the track seems to be interchangeable between Craig, Festool, and Wen, which is very weird. So they seem to be have the same design. I think either Craig or Festool might have a little bit different of a design. I'm not sure. I don't have them, so I don't know. But for a budget saw, I believe this is a great purchase. I'm actually very happy with it. I'll definitely highly recommend this. If you are going to, if you are looking to buy a track saw, I think this is a great track saw. And you get what you paid for, to be honest with you, right? So, you know, if I, for example, let me move this back a little bit. One thing I never tested was when it was actually on the wood, and if I flip this to 45 degrees, how stable it is. Let me move the camera down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Again, my apologies for the unprofessional videography, right? So, I'm going to try this out. I want to see. It's actually not bad. It's not flimsy at all. I thought it'd be a lot more flimsier, but, you know, it's not. It isn't. This is not flimsy at all. I thought it would be a lot more flimsier, but it's not. So if track saw is in your next purchase, do your research, guys. You know, I'm doing this because I don't want to spend too much money, and honestly, I don't have the budget to spend $800 on a track saw that I'm not gonna use every day. You know, I'm gonna use this probably like, you know, 3-4 times a year, if that. And for that price range, for $200, I think it's a good buy. I do have other Wen products. My planer is a Wen product. I do have a Wen drill. I have a Wen grinder, as you guys saw the grinder review. So I'm not against Wen. It is a budget product, but it seems to be holding up its end of the bargain, as far as like being a semi-quality tool. For the price range, you can't really go wrong. So leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think. I mean, here, let me see if I could put this back on here. Yeah, here we go. Again, my apologies for the video quality, guys. I'm trying. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to make good videos. I'm still learning get those glamour shots or whatever shots that people like to watch in the professionally done videos. So I take criticism very, very well. If you critique my videos, I'm not gonna be mad. I'll be actually happy that way I could actually improve my videos. And again, this is for people who do the same kind of thing as a side hobby, right? I'm not doing this profession. This is not my profession. This is my hobby. I'm a hobbyist. I like to build things as a hobby. I haven't gone into selling anything at this point. I don't think I will. If I will, I don't know. It might be something in a carpentry world or in the welding world. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of guys out there, a lot of girls out there who like to make their own stuff, and they just some of the knowledge base is not out there. So I don't have the knowledge base. I'm learning as I go along. As you see in my videos, I make the mistakes, so you guys don't have to make the mistakes. I struggled to put this thing on the track. I had to figure out what the hell's going on. So I find it, so you don't have to waste your time with it. So as soon as you get it, you know exactly what to do. You know where to look for. So I'm enjoying it. I like it. If I'm making a mistake, oh well. It's at my cost, and you guys get to laugh about it. So, anyways, guys, leave your comments down below. Hit the like button. Share the video if you like it. But your comments will help a lot. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see what happens. All right. Peace out.